what needs to be done to decrease auto theft in Canada.
Get more cops around, walking the streets. Instead of driving around, let them walk the streets. That's the only way they're going to catch them. Because by the time you get a vehicle already gone, and by the time the cops get here, they're already long gone anyway.
Geez, that's a hard one because with all the technology nowadays, there's a lot of ways around the old school stuff. So, I think just being vigilant on your own, I think that's one of the big things.
I think, tracking devices on vehicles, the vehicles are pretty expensive these days. You can't buy anything for less than 30 grand. You think they could put a GPS tracker in them and, connect them to the owner and you'd be able to monitor them.
It's part of its personal responsibility, part of its law enforcement. If we increase your law enforcement, that might help. We have to figure a way to deter. My vehicle has an anti-theft device with a GPS tracker, but is that enough? Would more patrols be done with the police? Would that help? It's a complicated question because there's so many factors involved.
I think we need to take a look at why it's happening. Instead of always doing a Band-Aid solution, dig into why these auto thefts are happening and go from there. I mean, yes, we need to do some things until the core reasons or the root reasons are found. But that would be my suggestion is why? Why are people stealing? And keep digging and digging until you find an answer for that.
Good question. More officers or people out, stopping them, catching them. Better or bigger or more stringent fines and incarceration, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know, to maybe increase safety measures. Like the car manufacturers could maybe have more safety devices installed in the vehicles. I noticed in the paper today that there was a resurgence of selling these cars within Canada itself, instead of putting them in a box in a container and shipping them overseas.
What are the things that you can do? You can put what they call a steering lock or something like that on your vehicle if you don't have any kind of a security on it. Now they learn how to override those too, so that's another problem. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what to say there. Only if you catch them, you deal with them according to the law, I guess. For me now, I'll deal with them myself if I catch them, but...
I mean, I think that the government has the ability to collaborate with different manufacturers and different organizations in the corporate sector, like whether it be Toyota, Honda, Tesla, whatever. Yeah. And I think those conversations need to be had and see if there's a way to address the issue with the manufacturer. We have good labor relationships with manufacturers, so I don't see why that would be an issue to kick up those conversations if we have a need.
That's a good question. Tougher policies. I mean, it's clear that the people who are, stealing cars don't seem to be afraid of the law because it's happening so frequently. So definitely some tougher policies around car thefts for sure.
I think they were talking about beefing up either supervision or some kind of police task force in the shipyard. So I know that, I don't know if we can stop the act of, or stop the act of the theft, but maybe we can stop the overseas transportation. I know that was something they were talking about. I mean, obviously it's a huge issue. I think part of it too, from what I heard, that there was a bit of a debate going on about whether car companies or insurance companies should be made responsible for either tracking devices or anti-theft devices. So maybe part of the question is because of this, is this something that the insurance companies can pitch in, or is this something that the car manufacturers themselves need to step up in their game? And I mean, everyone's kind of blaming everyone else for how to work this out, but maybe that's food for thought.
It's also different individuals are coming up with their own variety of solutions. I've seen people install boulders in their driveway or For example, like our parents got like a special box that they put their keys in, so doesn't get stolen so easily. So coming up with solutions.
It's not just the people that have had their car stolen, because we're all paying higher insurance premiums as a result. So we really need to get control of that and be more engaged in what we're doing.
I mean, that should really be more of safeguard with the manufacturers as far as auto theft. Like with policing, you just make getting more police everywhere would just make the budget just exponential and not feasible. And I really think that with technology these days you can do a lot, that a lot more responsibility has to be put on car manufacturers to make more secure, especially if I'm going to pay $70,000, $80,000 for a vehicle. I want to make sure it's secure kind of deal. So that's basically automakers should have a little bit more responsibility in that end.